like free location? What about getting married at the mall?
Hello, my name is Sean Carlo. I'm president of Realms Beyond Productions. We offer professional photography and video services at a reasonable price. They say that a picture's worth 1,000 words, but then wouldn't a film be worth 1,000,000? When the moment matters, give me a call.
The answer is yes. Now, wait a minute, Carlos, what do you mean yes? Which one is it? Well, both, really. We were conditioned first by results we got before we could choose consciously, as our mindset was being developed. And then we started choosing and got more results that were congruent with our mindset. All along, our mindset was being further reinforced and developed, and this cycle of life was perpetuating itself in our lives. And your conditioning created your mindset, and your mindset created results, and results further ingrained your conditioned mindset. It's a cycle that keeps self-perpetuating throughout our lives. Now, for those of you who are not getting what you want out of life before you go cut your veins, there is good news. No, not good news, but great news. Even though it's a cycle, once you become aware of it, you can take control of it. Take control of your life and transform yourself. But the question is, how do we break out of that cycle? How do we escape from that seemingly endless loop? Well, the answer is in the question, just like most things in life. You break out of it by becoming consciously aware of your beliefs and repeated thought patterns and making decisions to choose new thoughts and ideals. See, sometimes you just get to a point that it's so painful that you must break out, so you decide to change your way of thinking and give positive meaning to events, which leads to new positive action. Also, the influence of a strong role model, a person like a coach, teacher, relative, or any other caring mentor who sees your potential and takes an interest and guides you could have a profound effect and change your mind dramatically. Also, at any time, a radical experience can cause anyone to question.
I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. A feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's the night. Let's live it up. I
Like most of you, I started out as a child. You know how most babies are delivered by an obstetrician? Well, I was actually delivered by a psychiatrist. So you could say that I've actually been in therapy since the instant I was born. But, you know, that didn't stop me much. Nope, didn't stop me from being totally and absolutely insane. Oh, let me get out of here. What did stop me, however, was being diagnosed with a degenerative disc in my cervical spine when I was 23 years old. I grew up in the theater. I started my first rock and roll band when I was 14, but I loved to dance more than anything. Yep, I was actually originally trained as a dancer. And I danced professionally for 2 years until a series of accidents, head injuries. Guess I wasn't getting the message. Permanently injured my upper spine. So I was told that I would not be able to dance again. And in fact, to counteract the excruciating pain, the migraine headaches that went along with it, the nausea, the dizziness, the inability to sleep, the doctors, God bless them, they suggested I have a risky surgery to fuse my C3 and C4. Now that would limit my mobility, but hopefully it would stop the disc and the bone from degenerating. Now that was about 35 years ago. Well, I prayed about what to do, and instead of having the surgery, Spirit led me to a man who taught me something called idiokinetics, and a woman who taught me Hatha Yoga. Idiokinetics is the science of ideas, thoughts, imagery, visualization, and the impact that they have on kinesiology, movement, the body. In Hatha, Ha means sun, and Tha means moon. Balance of the inner and the outer, body and mind. Yoga means the yoke or union, becoming one with the spiritual self. To me, all this translated into the power of my mind to heal my body. And I never looked back. After 18 months of practice, 3 to 5 hours a day, I was re-diagnosed as never having had a degenerative disc. The spongy material between the vertebrae regrew, which is medically impossible, so I had created a medical miracle. And what follows is the foundational work in self-healing. I invite you to receive it in the spirit with which it is given. That's the spirit of love. Welcome, welcome to Healing Yoga. So people say, what is healing yoga? Really, we use breath, movement, and sound. And through the practice of that, we can create in our bodies an altered state of consciousness. An altered state of consciousness where miracles can and do happen on a regular basis. In fact, an altered state of consciousness where miracles are an everyday way of life. Through breathing ourselves into a state of peace and bliss, in that state, there's no disease. We're not ill. May last a minute, may last 5 seconds, may last an hour, but in time, after practicing, bringing ourselves into this state of peace through breath and sound and movement, that altered state of consciousness where there is no disease and only peace, that's where all healing takes place. And so what I would like to suggest for your consideration is do this for a while. It's worked for me, it's worked for many, many other people. And in time, through the practice, those seconds of feeling peaceful, because the emotion is what's really the most important thing. The most powerful impact we have on the larger field, call it God, Spirit, Source, is how we feel and what we impregnate that field with. So if we're in an emotional state of feeling peace and bliss, then the universe reflects that back to us. And in time, those moments connect until finally The mind releases all memories of disease and imperfection that we were ever separate from God. And simultaneously, the body is flooded with the health and vitality of the spirit, which is who we truly are. And that's the invitation that I leave with you today.